In this video, I'm going to be answering a question which some of you guys have, and I definitely have. Why haven't I got my first singles ATP point yet? Today I'm going to be breaking down how I found my journey so far, how you actually get an ATP point, and why I've been really struggling to get that first point on the board. Let's jump into the video. First, let's just understand how the actual tennis world works. You have 3 tiers of tournaments: ATP Tour, Challenger Tour, and ITF Pro Tour. Now the ATP Tour is of course the top of tennis, where the Grand Slams, the Masters of Thousands are all being held, the one which you guys as tennis viewers are most likely to be aware of and watching. The second tour is the Challenger Tour, the intermediary between moving up to the ATP Tour. Now the lowest tier of tournaments in professional tennis is the ITF Tour, where I am actually playing. There's 2 levels of events: $15,000 and $25,000 events, where in the main draw you can pick up ATP points which count towards your ATP ranking, which is used to get into these tournaments at challengers and ATP level. Now, what does actually 15 and 25k actually mean? Well, that's the total amount of prize money that the tournament is going to award to all of the players competing in singles and doubles in the main draw. Now overall, the prize money in the lower levels which I've been receiving is very, very minute. I recently was in Antalya, and I think me and Simon made the quarterfinals of the $15,000 event, and I think I got around 50 euros worth of prize money. So as you can tell, not even covering the hotel for half a night. Now like I said, you only get ATP points if you actually make the main draw of an event. So at every ITF level event, there is a qualifying draw, usually consisting of 2 or 3 rounds of qualifying. That's mainly where I've been playing over the last year. So for those of you that don't really follow a lot of the ITF circuit, let me break down the caliber of player we're talking about in the qualifying and the main draw of these ITF tournaments. So usually in the main draw of 15 and 25k events, you're going to be seeing players ranked already from about 250 in the world. Usually the top 8 seeds are going to be around 400-500 in the world. So if you draw one of them in the first round, it's a very long day. Now let's move on to the qualifying. Obviously every single week, based on the tournament and the location, it's going to make a massive difference to the caliber of players entering. I've seen as high as 400-500 in qualifying, all the way of course ranked down to players like myself and players who are unranked as well. The tough part is, in some tournaments you'll have 20 to 30 ATP ranked players ranking from 500 to one ATP point at 2000, who are all in the qualifying draw. So if you get a tough draw, you're going to have to play 3 players with maybe 1 point, 10 points or 30 points just to get through to the main draw, to then play someone who's ranked 400 to get 1 point. So that's pretty tough. So of course over the last year, I've been showing you my journey, showing you my tournament, showing you my wins and my losses. Over the time, I've obviously had this injury with my elbow where I had a surgery which actually affected me quite a lot mentally. The back end of last year, I was really not able to train a lot. I was on a lot of ibuprofen, anti-inflammatories. It wasn't great. I really wasn't enjoying it. It was really, really tough to train. I was playing these tournaments kind of in hope of having a good week or playing well, but in reality, looking back on it, I should have maybe taken a step back and just trained at home or tried to have the operation as soon as possible, because now that I've come out of the operation, I've really felt like my progress has began to skyrocket again. I've really been feeling good on court, feeling comfortable playing. And one thing I really want to bring across to you guys is actually how seriously I take my training and my tournaments. Becoming a tennis player for me is one of my lifelong goals. I don't take it any less seriously than anyone who is kind of top 10 in the world for my age. So I really, really want to show you guys how maybe a week in my life looks. So let's say this video gets 2,500 likes, I will do a week in my training life, anything that's just real with you guys to show you exactly what I'm doing, exactly how I'm training. Hopefully that could be inspirational to a few of you guys as well. Now just briefly talking about obviously my journey in tennis, let's take a look at the sponsor of today's video, Tennis Manager 2023. Now I remember playing Tennis Manager 2022 last year, and the 2023 edition has just launched on PC and Mac, and you can find it on Steam or Epic. This game's awesome because you basically manage an academy like Mouratoglou. You can manage players over their journeys, and there's also some really cool features like being the national captain at the Davis Cup, which is what we're going to be looking at. So step 1 is to create your own academy and to recruit myself as a player, obviously. 6 months in and I'm really improved my player. I'm now ranked 556 ATP. And I've progressed a lot technically, physically, and above all, mentally. I've created a very experienced manager, so I was quickly contacted by the English Federation to become the Davis Cup captain. Here is the team selection I've made for the quarter-final against Australia. We're at 1-1, Evans won against Kyrgios, bit of an upset. Norrie lost against Dimonor in very tight matches. This is the decisive doubles I chose to play with the big man, Jack Draper. We're playing against Popyrin and Jessica. They have less team chemistry than us. I think we're going to win this one. And in terms of strategy, we're going to play aggressive and charge the net. Right, quarterfinals of the Davis Cup, let's go. To be honest, looking at the graphics of this match sim, it's literally insane this year. We're going to speed up the match. We won the first set 6-1. We just lost the second set from a good volley from Popperin. We're in trouble in the beginning of the third. Do you think we're going to win and join Spain in the semi-finals? Put a comment below what you think the score will be, and we'll announce the winner in a shout out on Instagram in 1 week. So if you want to go and download Tennis Manager, there'll be a link in the description where you can go and do that. And now back to the video. So I thought I'd also use this time as I'm at home to talk a little bit about some of the questions that you guys have been asking me about my journey. Do you think you have what it takes? Now that's a good question because it's very broad and very open, which a lot of people like to ask me. I think overall my opinion to this is I don't really care, if I'm being honest, whether I have what it takes, whether I have this thing, this talent. I just know that I'm going to work really hard on my journey, and if that takes me to top 250 in the world, playing a Grand Slam, being top 100, wherever it is, of course the higher the better. I'm going to work hard as if I want to be #1 in the world. Obviously that's something that's going to be very, very difficult to do because there's an unbelievable amount of talented tennis players. But I just know I really want to work hard and enjoy the journey and also share it with you guys because every journey is individual. Nobody can tell, you know, how to live your life, how to play your tennis, how to do your journey, and I think that's the beauty of it, that it's down to you to make your own path and to work as hard as possible because nobody's going to be there holding you accountable on the court every single time, or in the evenings when you want to eat something that you shouldn't, or you know, when you're tired and you have to push yourself. That's all got to come from you. So at the end of the day, I'm going to be willing to push myself as hard as I possibly can and try and achieve the highest goal that I possibly can. Will you continue? Will you carry on your journey if you get more than 1 ATP point? I think you'd probably understand my answer from the previous part of this video, but obviously yes, my goal isn't just to get 1 ATP point or 2 or 3 or 4, it's to go as high as possible in the rankings that I can achieve. I really want to give tennis a go, and of course the fact that I've not gone to university, that I haven't chose to go into the US, and that I'm carrying on doing this and showing my journey with you guys, I think should be a testament to how seriously I'm willing to take this. Of course I've had setbacks and I will have more setbacks in the form of injuries, other issues in the future, but that's not going to stop me. I'm definitely going to work super hard towards my goal, and like I said, I'm willing to show you exactly what I do behind the scenes, not only for YouTube and for other stuff like that, but also in my training life and exactly, you know, what I'm doing to improve. And finally, my favourite question of all, the classic. Why aren't you improving as fast as Alcaraz? And Alcaraz had 1 ATP point at 15 and all of that. I mean, look, firstly, the people that say this are usually the people that don't watch a lot of, you know, ITF tournaments or Challenger tournaments. They're the people that just see the headlines and think, wow, Alcaraz, #1 in the world at 17 or 18, which is obviously insane. And I think that, look, you can't compare yourselves to the greats of the game because they're just built differently. They've been training since they were 10 years old in the best academies, with the best facilities, with the best people looking after them, and I haven't. And obviously throughout the period of 12 to probably about 18, I didn't take tennis as seriously as these guys. I didn't have the infrastructure to take it as seriously. I didn't have the knowledge to take it as seriously. So obviously I've started with a massive setback to them. The one thing I would say is that just because it takes longer for me at the beginning doesn't mean that it will take longer for me at the end. It's not something that's just going to mean that because it takes so long to get 1 ATP point, which realistically with my surgery and injuries it hasn't, and you know, I believe that I, you know, have what it takes to go a lot higher in the rankings, on the ATP ranking, so I'm super excited to share that journey with you guys and show you how high I can go. Because if you want to watch one of those rising stars shoot through the ATP Tour, this is not the right channel for you guys. If you want something like that, then just click off this video and don't watch any of my videos ever again. But if you want to see me work as hard as possible to achieve my goal and show you all of the tournaments that I'm playing, all of the people that I'm meeting, everything that I'm doing behind the scenes, then it would be great if you could subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this little bit more of an informational video about what's going on my journey. Leave some comments down below of what you'd like to see specifically. If there's any questions you have, I will answer every single comment on this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.